Sometimes just one sentence is so powerful it can change an entire country's legal system. Back in 1976, the Indian Supreme Court said something just like that, a phrase that would completely redefine what justice even means. So let's dive into how that happened. This question, right here, gets to the absolute heart of the story. What happens when a legal system gets so obsessed with its own rules, its own red tape, that it forgets why it's there in the first place? To do the right thing. This was the exact problem India's courts were wrestling with. And this really shows you the conflict perfectly. On one hand, you've got procedure. It's rigid. It's all about the process. The rules are the rules. And on the other hand, you have justice. That's the goal, right? The fair outcome we all hope for. The story we're exploring today is all about what happens when these two things go head to head. So this big, abstract idea, it wasn't just theory. It blew up in a very real way all the way back in 1976, inside one single, crucial court case, where the rigid rules finally met their real purpose. And this was the case, the Mumbai Kamgar Sabha versus MS Abdulbhai Faizullabhai. Now that might sound like a mouthful, just another case name, right? But trust me, what went down here sent ripples through Indian law for decades to come. It was a total game changer.
So what was this incredible revolutionary idea at the center of it all? Well, you could boil it all down to this one powerful metaphor. Handmaid, not mistress.
See, the court did something really interesting here. They didn't just make a ruling on the case in front of them. No, they zoomed out. They made this huge, profound statement about what legal rules are even for. They were about to completely flip the script on the relationship between following the rules and getting justice. And here it is. Just listen to this. Procedural prescriptions are handmaids, not mistresses of justice. So simple, right? But wow, so revolutionary. Let's really break down what that powerful metaphor actually means. So, for way too long, procedure was the mistress. It was the boss, the absolute master. In that kind of system, if you didn't dot every I and cross every T perfectly, you were just out of luck. Imagine you've got this totally legitimate case for workers' rights, but it gets thrown out just because a form was filed one day late. The rules themselves became more important than the actual, outcome. It was all about the process, not the people. But what the court said was a total 180-degree turn. They argued that procedure has to be a handmaid, a helpful assistant. Its only job is to help clear the way to fairness. The process is supposed to serve the outcome, not the other way around. It's a tool, not the master. Now, this wasn't just some nice philosophical idea to debate in a classroom. Oh no. This had real, immediate consequences. It actually led directly to the creation of an incredible new tool for the people.
And you can see how it all unfolded, step by step. First, the court drops this bombshell new philosophy. That lays the groundwork, this new legal principle. And from that, something amazing starts to grow, the seeds of what we now call public interest litigation, or PIL, basically a way for any citizen to bring a case to court if it's for the greater good.
So what was the real-world impact? Well, for starters, it paved the way for that public interest litigation we just talked about, giving everyday people a powerful voice. But it also just blew the doors wide open on what a legal proceeding could even look like. The whole system's focus shifted. It started pointing towards one thing, getting real justice for the common person.
Okay, so why are we talking about a case from the 70s? Why does it still matter so much? Well, it all boils down to its lasting legacy, and one word in particular, access.
Think about it. Before this, justice often felt like it was locked away behind this huge, intimidating wall of complicated rules. What the court did by saying rules have to serve fairness was like taking a sledgehammer to that wall. It completely changed the game for who could get a fair hearing and totally redefined how justice was served across the nation. And that brings us to a final thought, something for you to chew on. Because this idea, it's not just for lawyers and judges, right? So I'll just leave you with this question. Think about your own life, your work, your community, even just how you think about things. What rules have you let become the master, when really they should just be the servant?